Welcome to Kick 'em in the Head, where we are showcasing the pinnacle of amateur mixed martial arts, where skill meets spirit and champions are made. Get ready for the thrill of a lifetime as we bring you exclusive coverage of the MMASA National Championships. Welcome to the Kick 'em in the Head podcast all about MMA, and as usual, we have a very, very exciting interview. Today, I'm with Amanda, the Maddog Lino, a dominant force in MMA. With multiple EFC Worldwide titles and a stellar track record, Amanda is gearing up for the MMASA National Championships 2024. Not only is she a fierce competitor, but Amanda also shares an expertise as a coach in training kids as young as 6 years old and is an amazing MMA practitioner. Join us as we discuss her journey, training approach, and collaboration with Warriors Gym. Amanda Lino, welcome to the Kick 'em in the Head podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Amanda, tell us more about the MMASA Nationals that are happening in Durban on the 18th to the 21st of April, and exactly what your role in it is as a coach.
So the Nationals that are happening in KZN this year, being on the 18th and 21st of April, is going to be all the provinces coming together to select a SA team. So the best of each province get together, we compete, which is really exciting. So you get to see some new talent. And obviously the upcoming talent in South Africa. So yeah, from there we select the SA team, and then we head off to Worlds.
And that's amazing, because if you look at what the local nationals are and where you then end up next, like you said, the World Championships, the International Championships, it's an amazing opportunity for MMA practitioners in South Africa. So as a coach, how have you found working in the MMA space at the national level and the international level in terms of the support that you've received, not just as a coach, but also as a coach who's female? And as we know, there aren't that many females in the MMA space. So how's that journey been for you?
Yeah, look, with regards to being a female coach, and the same thing came down to when I started competing in MMA. It's a male-dominated sport, and it's obviously growing in the female division. It's always been a challenge whether I'm on the athletic side or a coach. But I think it's exciting because there is growth there. And the nice thing about being on the team now, this is going to be my first year being an official coach for KZN, and hopefully for SA. But it is growing and there is growth. And I think there's a different approach to having female athletes. Anyone that's trained in female athletes knows there is a different approach, and I think we need that coming from the top. So not only having female athletes, but we need coaches leading the way for females. It's amazing to see that the teams are growing. I was a part of the first ever SA team that went over to Las Vegas in 2014. And we were a very, very small group. So to see the group just in KZN alone is bigger than the SA team that we had, in 2014. So there's massive growth. And, walking into the gym for the first time when we had our first KZN practice, there were a lot of females standing on the mat. So it just goes to show that, yes, we're not where we want to be, but we're taking the steps for female athletes to get to where we want to be. So there's huge growth. I mean, there's talent, and there's just that, in 2014, there was a lot older demographics in the SA team, but we got some really, really young athletes that are in the team now. So there's growth from a younger age, and I have no doubt that it's going to continue to grow. And it's really exciting being a coach. I think for me, I've been on the athletic side, and I can share my experience. I've been to Worlds, I've won championships. So my role as a coach is teaching them what it takes to get there. Right now they're amateurs, but in future that's what they're going to be looking for, and they need that champion mindset. So that's what I'm trying to kind of put into my training, is not just, the hard work and the technique that goes with it, but it's the mindset that's also going to go with it. So it's exciting. I mean, there's huge talent coming out of KZN. I'm sure, from Gauteng and that there's going to be massive talent. So it's going to be a very, very exciting event on the 18th.
So you mentioned that obviously it was a bit difficult initially as female. The teams have grown considerably, and we were at Pandemonium Gym in Rudaport earlier today, and seeing the women training more than one, multiple women, was very encouraging in terms of the female interest in the sport. But in taking athletes from what you would normally have at their normal gyms or at their promotions and taking them to a national level, what makes it unique? How do you then help them set their mindset in a unique way? Because nationals is not like fighting anywhere else.
Yeah, of course it's not. I mean, there's a lot of pressure. I think you get to a stage where, like, locally you're competing and you get to know. I mean, you go to competition in KZN. I'm going to use that because I'm from KZN. We go to competitions in KZN and you get to know the people that you're competing against, right? So you're regularly seeing them, you're competing against them. Then you're going into nationals, you're going against athletes that you've never kind of competed against. They might have, different ways of training and strengths and that. But I think the most important thing as an athlete or anyone that's going to be going, and myself as a coach, we focus on basics, right? Getting your basics right, getting techniques. And the thing is, I'm alongside like Dallas and William. Dallas is also, he's been a champion as well, EFC champion. We know what it takes to win those championship rounds. And even though, they're not on that level in terms of professionalism, you still need to have that mindset. And I think it's about focusing on basics, working hard, having good discipline, and then putting those together. It's not like there's some magical potion that you go, all right, you're gonna, win and be a champion, or get into the SA team and go to Worlds and do really, really well. It's not magic. It's the fact that you've got to work hard on a day-to-day basis, work on your basics, and be strong there. So it's the small things that we kind of implement, and we go, if you can do the small things right every day, and I'm not just saying getting correct, but put hard work in, every day, and you work on those little things and you chip away at it, that's what it takes. It doesn't have to be, this magical moment where everything kind of falls into place. It doesn't. It's that everyday work, and that's consistent with anything in life, right? And I think we
100%.
drill, 100%. We drill that in terms of that's what it takes. It takes hard work on a day-to-day basis, focusing on the basics, having a strong mindset, which, that will come with discipline and training. And that's really what works. Your consistency and hard work will work.
Now, you've mentioned a lot of things there: consistency, hard work, training. Now, all of that always culminates in something. Through your career as a coach, what's your greatest success story, especially at the national level, in having taken athletes to that level to fight for their country, basically?
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm fairly new in terms of being a coach. So this will be my first year being a coach on the team. But for me, nothing really changes, right? I know what it takes to be on that end. So the greatest thing about having done, what they're about to do, they're about to go to nationals, and hopefully our team will get into the SA team and go to Worlds. I know exactly what it is to go through that process. So, I can almost give them a little bit of information on the experience. I'm not just talking about, oh, you need to do X, Y, and Z, and you're giving you're shouting out orders and you're going, this is what you need to do. No, I've lived that. I've been through it. I know what it takes to get to those levels. So I think it's nice to be a coach in a position where I've done everything I'm talking about. I think that's a very, very different, and I think that's where I get a little bit of respect from the athletes, is that they've seen me go through, building up to be a champion, and they look at it and go, we're learning from someone that's actually been in our position, and it makes it more realistic. I think they can relate to that. I can relate to their situation. So it's an easy working together process. But in terms of that, I've literally looked at it and go, like, how am I going to take being an athlete and transitioning into being a coach on those levels? I'm going to take, I know, I was lucky. I had Dallas, who I'm working with now, and I had my coach Ronnie van der Vlug with me. And, it was great being with someone or being with coaches that always led by example. And that's the biggest thing for me. I'm going to lead by example, right? I'm going to take what they've taught me, put it into my own way, and coach the way I've benefited from, and obviously you adapt to different athletes because everyone learns in different ways. But I'm really just going to be realistic in terms of, I know what it is to be an athlete, and I'm going to relate that in the best way as a coach. So that's my hope going into this year.
And from all the coaches we've spoken to so far, nurturing the athletes, not necessarily in their skills, because their skills come from the gyms that they're from, but nurturing them
100%.
mentally to have them, be with someone who's, like you said, been through that numerous times, who's understood what it means to fight at that level. That's really what the athletes need. So I think it's phenomenal what's happening over in KZN. You've got Dallas Jacoby, you've got yourself as well, Amanda, Lino, and William. But let me put you on the spot for a second. Who do you
Go
think is
for it.
going to take these national championships? Who do you think is going to be the best in South Africa?
KZN, obviously. Listen, you look at it this way. You've got, and I mean, there's obviously coaches here that are phenomenal, but in terms of being in an environment where you're competing against all great athletes from all over, you got myself and Dallas. We've been champions and we're from KZN. We've got that champion mentality, that heart, that grit. I've got to back KZN 100%, and I can't back anyone else.
We spoke to
the athletes that are in the gym at the moment. Like, I am amazed at the talent that's coming from that gym. Like, it really, really excites me, and from a young age, that, and the work ethic for athletes in KZN. I mean, we're tough. So the other provinces are going to have a hard time with KZN.
So the one province that we have spoken to that says that I think they got 18 out of 19, of which I think 9 or something ridiculous with gold, is Dwayne Meredith. Now, he's very adamant that Gauteng is taking this one. So it's going to be a very, very exciting competition this year, I think.
Yeah, look, I think, they've done well in the past, and we'll give them that. But this year is our year, for sure.
Yeah. So, Amanda, if anyone wants to get involved with MMA and find out more about what's happening in the coaching space in KZN with the MMA Nationals, where can people find you on the socials?
So, on Facebook, the KZN MMA team have a Facebook page. But if you're wanting to get in touch with one of the coaches directly, you can get in touch on Instagram or Facebook, and you just go follow Amanda Maddog Lino. Can DM me personally. I can give you any information. Yeah, contact us. Come and train with us if you want to. If you're coming on holiday to KZN, hitting the sun, the beach, you got to hit the gym as well. So come and join us for a session.
I'm definitely going to take you up on that one. Amanda, Maddog, it's been an absolute honor, an absolute pleasure chatting with you. And I'm not sure, but do you know how we like to end our interviews?
I think I do. Kick him in the head.
Kick him in the head. That's right. Thank you so much, Amanda.
We got it in the wrong timing. I'm so sorry. We should have.
No one gets the timing. That's the beauty of it. Don't worry.
Love it.
And we'll probably chat to you at the Nationals.
Awesome. I look forward to it.
Awesome. Cheers. Have a good afternoon.
You too. Thanks for having me here.